Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. My name's Stefan Seguin, your sales coach. Today I want to talk to you about the 7 surefire ways to not succeed in sales. You're saying, well, what do you mean? Usually videos are about how to sell, how to increase sales. Yeah, I get it. But I've received so many comments from you on what are the exact details, or what are some details at least, that are contributing to my lack of success in sales. And this is what this video is about today. So what I want to talk about, here are the key elements, right, that contribute directly to lack of sales. First one is lack of persistence, right? Many of you, as soon as it gets a little hard in regards to sales, or, you're not getting the success right away out of the gate, a lot of you just tune it down. You don't stay persistent. No matter what happens, you don't stay focused on the task. You don't stay focused on the KPI. You don't stay focused on delivering the results and having the identity and mindset that goes with it. The next element that is, in my opinion, very important is not taking responsibility. So let me ask you, have you ever seen or heard people say, well, it's the customer, or our company doesn't get it, or it's the product, it's the service, it's everything else but the actual seller? Have you ever heard that? Comment below if you have. I'm curious to know. And I'm curious to know what they were saying. So my experience when I've seen that is basically people were blaming everything else, including the market, and not what they were doing, not what they were seeing, the activities that they were not doing, or the learning, the education they were not applying, or the coaching they would get from their sales directors. So this is a big part of why people are failing at sales. The next one, and in sales, you have to know how to communicate. Right? If you can't communicate with your clients properly, if you can't communicate with your teammates, if you can't communicate with your management, that's a surefire way to lose sales or not be successful at sales. Communication goes as far as, remember, sometimes we're talking to clients and we need to present, either present in a Zoom call or any other media that we need to present to. If we can't present our idea, can't present our solution, our offer, which is all part of communications, this has a direct impact on our ability to sell. It also has a direct impact on our ability to build trust with one client or several clients. And it also has a negative impact on our ability to communicate internally within our teams. Next, I would tell you is, and this is probably the biggest one, lack of self-confidence. Many people suffer from this, right? Especially introverts who are they don't feel comfortable in talking with people. They don't feel comfortable exchanging with people outside their immediate network or friends. Many would rather chat because then you can have the option to ghost. But guess what? If you have a lack of self-confidence, not only will it carry itself in your sales, but it will also carry itself when, for example, you're applying for a sales position or applying for another position or changing jobs or getting the support internally for an idea, a project, etc. Now, I'm working on something, and it's a little early in the process, but I'm working on something right now that will help in regards to that. If you're interested, just send me a DM in the chat and just let me know that, hey, this is something I'd like to know more about, and I will send you info. Next, I would say is inconsistency in follow-ups. There's gold in follow-ups, but if you just don't bother doing the follow-ups, well, then guess what? You're not getting customers to get back to you, right? So just think for a minute. You've done all this work. You've chatted with the customer. You've qualified the customer. You've talked to them. You've asked them what are the things that are, hurting their business or hurting their results. You get all this amazing information. You work on putting together a proposal, and after that, you either send them a voicemail after you've sent them the proposal, or perhaps you send them an email, you don't get a response, you say, okay, that's it. Well, it can't be just that's it. Look, there's statistics out there that say that you have to follow up at least 5 times consistently to get a client to call you back. Well, why 5 times? Well, aren't you busy? Aren't your days busy with other activities and meeting and speaking to other clients? It's the same thing for your clients. So being inconsistent, and to that fact, there are some other stats that say that you need to connect at least 10 times before people get back to you. Now, that being said, an important element is communication. How do you word your emails? The words you say in your voicemail, all that have an impact. But if you're not consistent and you don't apply the right wording and use the right wording, well, guess what? You're not going to get the results. So that's another great example of why you're failing with sales. The next important element, and that I would tell you is probably what destroys at least 50% or more of salespeople, especially those who are new to sales, is fear of rejection. We are at a time where everybody wants to be liked. Well, guess what? Your customers don't necessarily like the proposal, like the offer, or they just don't have time to talk to you. And they either hang up on you, or they will tell you off, or they just won't respond, right? And that rejection that you get kills many, many salespeople who want to have a sales career. It kills their dream of becoming a salesperson. Those who persevere and stick with it and learn to improve and master their sales skills are the ones that stay on top. So, that being said, fear of rejection is a major contributor to people not selling or having a lack of success in sales. The next key point, and this is point number 7, and that is giving up way too soon, right? Perhaps you've just started the job. Maybe you've been a few days in it, maybe a week in it. You've made some calls. You've sent out some emails and you're not getting responses. Or perhaps you are getting responses, just not the responses you'd expect, where people actually want to talk to you, or where people actually want to hear about what you have to offer, right? But if you quit that early in the process, well, that's a surefire way that you're not going to get the results and the success in sales you desire. So, giving up will not help you get anywhere. You got to stick with it, and you got to apply and learn and apply new things, new sales tactics, new words that you might use in your copy. Perhaps it's how you send the email to the client and the wording on the subject header. Perhaps it's the tonality you use when communicating with those clients. Now, all these little tips, all these little things contribute overall to lack of sales success. Now, if any of those are a challenge for you, reach out, DM me. I'd love to be able to help you. In the end, if this video is useful for you, please subscribe to my channel. I want to continue sharing this valuable information to you. Like, share, and looking forward to be with you and see you on the next video. Thank you.